I went home after I overheard my husband say he didn't want to bring me with him to his family vacation. My husband Jake had been planning this big family trip to Lake Tahoe for months. His parents rented this huge cabin for their 30th anniversary, and the whole family was going, like his 2 brothers, their wives, all the kids, everyone. Jake kept talking about how fun it would be and how his mom was so excited to have everyone together. I was looking forward to it too, since I'd only met his extended family a few times and wanted to get to know them better. Last Tuesday, I came home early from work with a migraine and heard Jake on the phone in his office. I was about to knock and ask if he had any aspirin when I heard him talking to his brother Mike. Honestly, I kind of wish I could just go by myself, Jake was saying. Sarah gets so weird around my family. She barely talks to anyone and just sits there looking uncomfortable the whole time. I froze in the hallway. Mike said something I couldn't hear, and Jake laughed. I know, right? Last Christmas, she literally hid in the kitchen the entire time. Mom kept asking if she was okay. My heart started pounding. Jake continued, I love her, but she's just not good with big groups. The whole vacation would be way more relaxed if I didn't have to worry about her being miserable. Mike must have asked about leaving me behind because Jake said, I can't exactly uninvite her now, but man, it would be so much easier to just hang with the family without having to babysit my antisocial wife. Antisocial wife, that's what he called me. I quietly grabbed my purse and keys and drove to my sister Emma's house. When she opened the door, I was crying so hard I could barely speak. She made me tea and let me ugly cry on her couch for an hour before I could explain what happened. Emma was furious. Are you kidding me? You're not antisocial, you're just quiet around people you don't know well. That's completely normal. She was right. I'm actually pretty social with my own friends and family, but Jake's relatives are all these loud, outgoing people who talk over each other and make inside jokes from 20 years ago. I always felt like an outsider trying to break into their conversations. The vacation was supposed to start Friday. Wednesday night, Jake asked if I'd packed yet. I looked at him and said, actually, I think you should go without me. His face went white. What? Why? Did something happen? I told him I'd heard his phone conversation with Mike. Jake tried to backtrack and say he didn't mean it that way, but I was done. I said if he thought I was such a burden to babysit, he could enjoy his relaxing family vacation solo. He begged me not to be upset and said he was just stressed about work, but I'd already made up my mind. Friday morning, while Jake was loading his car for Tahoe, I was loading mine for a completely different destination. Remember how I said I'm not actually antisocial? Well, my college roommate Lisa had been begging me to visit her in Portland for months. I'd always said I was too busy, but suddenly I had a whole week free. Lisa picked me up at the airport with the biggest smile. Girl, this is going to be the best week ever. And it was. We went hiking, tried amazing restaurants, visited art galleries, and stayed up until 2 a.m. talking like we were 20 again. I posted pictures of everything. Me laughing over brunch, hiking through gorgeous forests, and exploring the city. My friends kept commenting about how happy I looked. Meanwhile, Jake was sending me increasingly panicked texts from Tahoe. Apparently, his family kept asking where I was, and he had to admit we'd had a fight. His mom was disappointed because she'd been planning activities specifically to include me. The best part? His cousin Rachel, who I'd always felt intimidated by, commented on one of my Portland photos saying, "You seem so fun. I can't wait to hang out more next time." Turns out the problem wasn't that I was antisocial. The problem was that Jake never bothered to help me feel included or comfortable around his family. He just expected me to figure it out on my own, then complained when I didn't magically transform into the life of the party. When I got back from Portland, Jake was waiting at the airport with flowers and the most apologetic look I'd ever seen. He said his family had spent the whole week asking about me and that he realized how much better everything was when I was around. I told him if he ever called me antisocial again, his next family vacation would be permanently solo. We're going to his cousin's wedding next month, and this time Jake's already made plans to introduce me to people and include me in conversations. Funny how much more social I am when my own husband actually wants me there.